Hello and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the 7th grade concept of area of composite figures. This is standard 7.9C in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 35 off the 2016 released STAAR test. If you have not done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and then we will look at our answers together. So we've got this strange composite figure here of a semicircle, a rectangle, and then a right triangle. And it just forms this strange figure, and we need to find the best estimate. So we can round a little bit if we need to find the area of this figure. So let's start with the easiest one right here. This area is base times height for our rectangle. So that's going to be super easy. So our base, right, is this 6 right here. Bring that down there so we see the base. So that's going to be 6 cm. And multiply that by our height, 4 cm. Easy peasy. So far we've got 24 square centimeters. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep these over here. We're going to have to add them up. Probably the triangle is going to be the next easiest, and it tells us it's a right triangle. Even if they didn't tell us, we do see this little square right here, but they did go ahead and tell us. So remember the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. Just because if you double this triangle right here, right, you can make another exact half. You could just make a square, and you know that that's base times height, right? And so half of this is going to be our triangle, which is 1/2 base times height. So let's make sure we get our numbers. Now we don't have a base right here, but it's not that difficult to figure out. This full length right here is 10 centimeters. We already know that this base is 6, so this missing part has got to be 4. So let's do a little bit of 1/2. 4 cm. Now height is, we're just going to have to use this right here. It's a right triangle, which means we can use one of the sides as the height. So I'm going to use that as a 4 cm. If it were a regular triangle like this, we would need our height to be this imaginary line right there, because we can't use the side of it slanted. It has to be part of the right triangle. But we've got 1/2 times 4 times 4. So I'm just going to do 1/2 times 16 square centimeters. Half of that is going to be 8. All right, so 8 square centimeters. Easy so far. Here's where it gets slightly difficult. There is no formula for a semicircle. But what we do know is that the area of a circle, that equals pi r squared. Now, the semi means half. And you can see it visually, it's half of a circle. So if a triangle is half of base times height, because a triangle is half of a rectangle or half of a square, then a semicircle is going to need to do that same thing. It's going to be that same pi r squared, but we're going to just divide it by 2. So we're going to divide it by 2 because it's half a circle. We'll take the full area and cut it in half. So what is our radius? That's all we need. Well, a radius goes from the center. So I'm going to draw a center right here and goes out to the side. Well, if this full side right here is 4 centimeters, then that means this radius is going to be half of that, 2 cm. And so now we can do our, let's do it over here, a little bit more room, pi r squared, cut in half. So I'm going to, since we're estimating, I don't see any decimals in my answers, let's just call that 3. And we're going to do r squared. That's going to be 2 squared. So that's going to be 3 times 4 over 2. That's 12 over 2. And that equals 6. So let's add that up. And oops, we already got a plus. And guess what we have? 38. Our answer is D.